Herodotus, on the manners and the customs of the ancient Egyptians. From History, Book 2. Concerning Egypt itself I shall extend my remarks to a great length, because there is no country that possesses so many wonders, nor any that has such a number of works that defy description. Not only is the climate different from that of the rest of the world, and the river unlike any other rivers, but the people also, in most of their manners and customs, exactly reverse the common practice of mankind. The women attend the markets and trade, while the men sit at home at the loom. And here, while the rest of the world works the woof off the raft, the Egyptians work it down. The women likewise carry burdens upon their shoulders, while the men carry them upon their heads. The women urinate standing, the men crouching. They eat their food out of doors, but retire for private purposes to their houses, giving as a reason that what is unseemly, but necessary, ought to be done in secret, but what has nothing unseemly about it should be done openly. A woman cannot serve the priestly office, either for god or goddess, but men are priests to both. Sons need not support their parents unless they choose, but daughters must, whether they choose or no. In other countries, the priests have long hair. In Egypt, their heads are shaven. Elsewhere, it is customary in mourning that near relations to cut their hair close. The Egyptians, who wear no hair at any other time, when they lose a relative, let their beards and the hair of their heads grow long. All other men pass their lives separate from animals. The Egyptians have animals living with them. Others make barley and wheat their food. It is a disgrace to do so in Egypt, where the grain they live on is spelt, which is called zea. Dough they knead with their feet, but they mix mud and even take up dirt with their hands. They are the only people in the world, they at least, and such as have learnt the practice from them, who do not leave their genitals in their natural state, but practice circumcision. Their men wear 2 garments apiece, their women but 1. They put on the rings and fasten the ropes to sails inside, others put them outside. When they write or calculate, instead of going, like the Greeks, from left to right, they move their hand from right to left, and they insist, notwithstanding, that it is they who go to the right, and the Greeks who go to the left. They have 2 quite different kinds of writing, one which is called hieroglyphics, and the other Demotic. They are religious far beyond any other race of men, and observe the following rules. They drink out of brazen cups, which they score every day. There is no exception to this practice. They wear linen garments, which they are specially careful to have always fresh washed. They practice circumcision for the sake of cleanliness, considering it to be cleanly, then comely. The priests shave their whole body every other day, that no lice or any other impure thing may adhere to them when they are engaged in the service of the gods. Their dress is entirely of linen, and their shoes of the papyrus plant. It is not lawful for them to wear either dress or shoes of any other material. They bathe twice every day in cold water, and twice each night. Besides which they observe, so to speak, thousands of ceremonies. They enjoy, however, not a few advantages. They consume none of their own property, and are at no expense for anything. But every day bread is baked for them of the sacred grain, and a plentiful supply of beef and of goose's flesh is assigned to each, and also a portion of wine made from the grape. Fish they are not allowed to eat, and beans, which none of the Egyptians ever sow or eat, if they came up of their own accord, either raw or boiled, the priests would not even endure to look on, since they consider it an unclean kind of pulse. Instead of a single priest, each god has the attendance of a college, at the head of which is a chief priest. When one of these dies, his son is appointed in his stead. Male kind are reckoned to belong to Apis, and are therefore tested in the following manner. One of the priests appointed for the purpose searches to see if there is a single black hair on the whole body, since, in that case, the beast is unclean. He examines him all over, standing on his legs, and again laid upon his back, after which he takes the tongue out of the mouth, to see if it is clean in respect of the prescribed marks. What they are I will mention elsewhere. He also inspects the hairs of the tail, to observe if they grow naturally. If the animal is pronounced clean in all these various points, the priest marks him, by twisting a piece of papyrus round his horns, and attaching thereto some sealing clay, which he then stamps with his own signet ring. After this the beast is led away, and it is forbidden, under the penalty of death, to sacrifice an animal which has not been marked in this way.